guys, Eric Bakker, the naturopath. Thanks for coming back. You guys are still with me. I've been on this channel now for, I don't know how many years, since 2013. So what's it coming up? 8 years. It's not bad. Right. We've got an interesting set of videos we're going to do. Well, I'll do one now. And this one's called, I've got another computer here, 5 precautions to take after recovering from candida or other gut-related issues. So I'm going to talk about 5 key areas that might be of a lot of help for some people. Some of these areas or bits of information I'm about to give you, you'll think, yeah, I know all that. But others you'll think, that actually might relate to me, and that could be why I'm not fully recovering, or why my recovery seems to be on hold, or I'm not progressing the way I want, or that might explain why, I'm wasting my time. So, because the only thing you've realistically got is time. When you think about it, you ain't got money, you got time. You can always get money, you can't get time, right? So time's the important thing with healing. It's all about time, but it's also all about timing, which we'll talk about later. So 5 precautions to take. So let's take it from the top. And the first precaution really to take is to be cautious about worrying or thinking negatively about the future based on how you felt in the past. I wonder if that microphone's working. Yep. So, okay, you've not been well for a while, but you're recovering. You may not have fully recovered. You may have partially recovered. You may have fully recovered. I don't know, but you're worried. You've got this negative thought pattern. You're worried about other people. Sorry, I'm playing with the microphone. That's better. But we're living in these COVID times when there's excessive worry and concern about health. I mean, only yesterday I went to go and get some stuff from a shop, from this bulk food store, and a lady sort of looks at me and then quickly ducks across the road, sort of scurrying across and worried that she may contract some disease from me. So there's a lot of worry out there at the moment, right? So it adds to your level of anxiety or stress, this COVID thing, but also because you're recovered and you don't want to get sick again. So the mind is the most powerful part of the human being. It can play tricks. It can push you back into illness. It can push you forward to recovery, regardless. I don't care how oxalate-free your foods are. I don't care how organic they are. I don't care how clean or how many times you wash your spinach in the bath and dry with a hairdryer. I don't care about all that stuff. If you've got negative thinking and you're excessively worried and you've got high anxiety, you might as well eat asphalt or tarmac off the road. It makes no difference at all to your health, right? Many people poison themselves with their own thoughts, just as, in the same light as many people dig their own graves with their own teeth, literally, with the kind of crap they eat. And many people also dig a hole for themselves with how they think. So there's negative thinking, there's positive thinking, but you need to be careful about this, right? Here's some strategies. Realistically assess your worries. So think carefully about your worries and anxieties, maybe they're not really founded in any basis in fact, right? If you avoid situations that land you in trouble in the first place, that'll go a long way towards, sorry, my eye, I know I'm a bit weird today. I've been sneezing like a banshee. I mean, there's so much pollen out here at the moment. I'm sneezing, my eyes are a bit funny. My bees are loving all the flowers though. But yeah, negative thinking, okay? Realistically assess. Talk to a friend. Talk to your doctor. Talk to someone you know. It could be a brother or a sister. It could be someone that you can confide in. And you'll probably find that person will say, relax, come on. It's not as bad as you think. So also find things you can focus on each day. Something positive, something nice. Now for me, something really positive and enjoyable is maybe putting some seedlings in the ground. Now, for other people, it could be posting memes or something, or I don't know what you do, what you enjoy doing, but by doing small things once or twice a day you enjoy, it helps also to divert the mind away from the anxiety, right? So if you break anxiety down, it's really an unfounded fear in something that's likely not going to happen. But we worry about things, and then the anxiety creeps in, and then it affects our digestive system, and then it starts affecting our blood pressure and our adrenals and thyroid. Our whole stress axis gets affected, and this in turn hinders recovery. Okay, so try and understand that anxiety and fear are really big, red posts, red poles up there, and there's precautions required. The second one Point number 2, be careful about stress and tension, physical tension and stress. So when you think you've recovered, and again, this links up with probably number 1, all right, the worry and the anxiety, because worry and anxiety can cause physical tension and stress in the body. Now, many people commonly feel that here. So many times I come up, to someone, especially when I was doing a lot of massage therapy, and then touch people on key points, here in the upper back, and they go, that feels so good. That's where many people hold their stress, is up here, and also in the neck muscles, the trapezius muscles, all this area here. But one thing you're forgetting, these are muscles, but guess what? You got muscles there. You got muscles here. You got muscle here. You got muscle everywhere. So your bowel can be really affected by stress and tension. It can cause loose bowel motions. It can cause constipation. It can cause bloating and gas. It can also make you think you've got candida when you actually haven't got candida, when it's a manifestation of the stress and anxiety pushing you into muscular tension and stress. Now, common areas I find that really induce or evoke these symptoms is personal relationships. Something happening in the family. Could be, or also could be with an employer or an employee, a boss, or someone that works for you, or you work for somebody. It could be a partner. It could be a mother or father. But notice how I'm mentioning people, because people are our biggest source of stress. They generally are. All right. It's not bullets or it's not glyphosate. It's people. People cause us a lot of grief because we allow that to occur, and we're part of that problem as well. So tension and stress. So be careful. And this is what I regularly tell patients is scan your body. Like, is the jaw tight, Just relax. Every now and then take a nice deep breath and let it out and feel where the tight spots are. Right? These tight spots. Now, these little areas here are often called trigger points. So if I were to come up behind you right now, the person watching this video, and were to palpate different parts of your skull and upper back and neck, I can guarantee you I'm going to find one spot that's going to make you think that you got whacked with a little hammer there. It's that painful. And that's a trigger point. That's the beginning or the ending of a muscle, and tension gets held in that point. Toxins often build up around the trigger points, but they can be really, really painful, like very sore bruises. So try and do that later on today or tonight when you're sitting down there on the couch. Is just work your way around your skull, or even around your face, And trigger points can be here, they can be here, they can be around the face, they can be around the neck, particularly around the occiput at the back, underneath there you'll find them. So the more trigger points you got, and the more pain, and the more tense, and the more limited mobility, the more stress and tense you are. Right? And it's not a good thing to have, because again, that feeds the negative cycle of worry and stress and anxiety. These are precautions you need to take. So, learn how to recognize the signs of stress and tension in the body. Stop and regularly think how your muscles feel in a relaxed state. And when you really scan the body and feel it, you don't need x-rays to do this. You can do this yourself by trying to get some feedback. Practice regular, slow, deep breathing. It's a very good thing to do, especially if you're going to go into a meeting, or you've got not a confrontation, but you're going on a date, or if you've got an appointment, or if you've got to catch up with someone on Skype, or if you've got some setup where you've got to meet someone else, and especially if your tummy feels a bit, you'll find 3-4 very slow, relaxed breaths to center yourself will really help to stimulate that parasympathetic nervous system and give you a lot of nice, relaxed feelings. Also, it helps to boost your immune system up, as opposed to holding the breath and being tight and clenching your jaw, and then later on having facial pain, or, temporomandibular joint dysfunction, like all this tension up in here. People in awful relationships often have painful jaw from biting their lip the whole time and clenching. Learn to take time out to relax. It's very important. It's one of the key things I've always tried to work with patients. When I started to understand, how severe the adrenals can really affect somebody, I started to realize the best thing I can get people to do is to relax more, to improve their gut function, to improve their immune function, and also to give them a much more linear and nice, even way of coming out of an illness. Right? Deep muscle relaxation is good. So if you've got a lot of those tense spots we spoke about, I think it's good for you maybe to go and get a massage here and there regularly. It will pay huge dividends for you. Right? So that was number 2, the stress and tension. The third one, be cautious, especially in your first year when you're recovering, with 3 key things: diet, exercise, and sleep. I'm not going to go into each one in too much detail because I've done that in many videos already. But suffice to say, these are 3 key areas where you need to pay a lot of attention. Many people, as they recover, they slowly slide off the track. And they very slowly deviate, and they turn around and they go back to their old ways. And that's because they're feeling better. And people often gravitate back to the foods that they used to consume. That's why for a whole year, it's good for you to stay on track. And that will make it less likely for you to deviate off track. Okay? The exercise, well, you're either a gym bunny or not. But my form of exercise is walking every day, and also gardening every day, and being a very active person. So activity is very important. And now that I'm 60, it's especially important to be very active. And it's the same with you, regardless of your age, because good levels of activity provide good levels of mental health. You'll sleep better, you'll eat better, you'll feel better, and you'll recover faster if you're more active. So sitting on a couch with a remote control is not really activity, is it? And of course, sleep is, I think, one of the most powerful things you can do, is to stimulate efforts. Look at ways of improving your sleep by getting into that frame of mind later on in the day, and also by not really staying up beyond you know how you get like that, and then you think, okay, another coffee. I'll just have another coffee and I'll go back to Facebook. That's not really sleep, is it? When you're tired, you need to get to bed. As soon as you're yawning or you're doing this, rubbing your eyes in front of the computer and yawning once is a warning. Okay, that's the orange light. But when you start sitting there like that and you're looking back at the screen again, well, you've gone through a red light, haven't you? You need to get your butt into bed, basically. Right? So sleep is incredibly restorative, and also it's the way for our body to heal and build new tissue. So with poor sleep, poor recovery, and you're not really taking any precautions. By working on your sleep, you're really, showing me and yourself and all the cells in your body that you're really putting in the effort. And you'll find that the nervous system will start balancing out. Stress will become less apparent during the day. You'll feel better about your life in general. Your mental health will increase, and so will your energy. The hormones in the body tend to be more balanced when a person sleeps deeper and more soundly. Now I've told you that, go back to point 1 and 2. Stress, tension, anxiety, all these things affect sleep. So when sleep's broken, it's going to make that stuff worse. When that stuff's worse, it's going to make the sleep worse. So it's basically like a dog chasing its tail, right? Get the problem sorted with the person. We talked about personal conflict. Sleep will improve. When sleep improves, you're going to recover faster and deeper. So that's the third point: diet, movement, and sleep. We talk about point number 4. Be cautious about thinking you're cured. Okay, I don't use a C word except for when I say it in a parody, like, I'm going to get cured. Who's going to cure me? All this sort of stuff. So you're forgetting that your body needs adequate R&R, rest and relaxation. Let me read out what I've written here. Some people get well but forget that it takes time and commitment to stay well and maintain, health. You'll find that as your health improves over a prolonged period of time, the cells are continually renewing themselves. So it's true that the body replaces itself every so many years if the conditions are good. Right? This process will occur a lot more efficiently with the right nutrition, the right sleep, obviously, and the right conditions. So don't put stress on yourself during the recovery period. Right? You're not cured when symptoms go away. So the World Health Organization defines good health not just as the lack of symptoms, right, but they're looking also at the total health of the human being, including mental emotional health. Very important. So, not a good idea with point 4. I'll expand on this. It's not a good idea, therefore, to jump into a brand new role, like a president's role in a company, or starting up a whole new startup as an entrepreneur as you're recovering, or doing something crazy, going on a world trip, or some highly stressful thing like that. Now's not the time to go on a world trip, COVID anyway. But don't sort of think of your body like you would, say, a big automobile where you quickly replace a few parts, it's back on the road again, right? Until the next breakdown. That's not how bodies work. Cars don't have anxiety attacks. Cars don't drink alcohol. Cars don't smoke weed. Cars don't drink Dr. Pepper, okay? Cars get what you put in them and they operate under your command. Now, the doctor can't operate you under his or her command. It needs to be done by yourself. I think you get the point here. So high-powered roles or weird ideas about recovery, it's not going to work. You've done that before and you failed, all right? Give yourself time. Let's look at number E, or point 5. And this relates to a lot of the stuff I've said. Slipping back into older habits. This comes back to point 1 when we talked about the anxiety and stuff. So there is something I've noticed more than the occasional patient do over the years. Let me read this out to you. Sliding back into old habits. This could be inappropriate snacking or drinking or drug taking, whether it's recreational drugs or prescribed pharmaceuticals, staying up late most nights, particularly beyond that stage, staying up beyond that. If you had friends like this, I've written here, before when you were unwell, and now you're recovering, it's probably not a good idea to hang around with these people too much during recovery phase, because you may find slowly you'll get dragged back. Right? So sometimes it pays to try and see if there's any associations or links between certain people you know and your recovery or lack of it. And like a garden, sometimes you got to do a bit of pruning, sometimes you got to pull a few weeds out, and other times you need to get an axe and chop the whole thing out. I'm not saying to chop your friends with an axe. I'm just saying you got to get rid of people sometimes. And that's how it is, unfortunately. Especially if you don't want to, say, drink anymore or, take pharmaceuticals or do stuff like that. You might need to change your life. So I hope you got some good information out of those 5 points, right? And the video name again was 5 precautions to take after recovering from a yeast problem or a gut-related issue. Thanks for tuning in.